Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Machan Le'Ra Online Smicha. In this week's Parsha, we learn a lot of dinim that are connected to Hilchos Dayanus. And perhaps the first one that suggested that even not Moshe Rabbeinu could be a Dayan was Grada Eitzah that Nishkin Yid gave, Yisroi. And it became part of the Mitzvahs Hashem. And it was Yisroi that came along and said, Va'ata Techza. And according to one of the reasons, that's why his name is called Yisroi, because Yeser Parsha Min HaTorah, there's an extra Parsha Min HaTorah based on his great idea of implementing Dayanim. So in Sheni, in this week's Parsha, it begins like this. And every one of these psukim has a halacha attached to it for those who are learning Hilchos Dayanim. The pasuk begins in Sheni, Vayhi mi machras, and Rashi says mi machras, it was Matzah Yom Kippur. It can't be before then, because before then, Moshe didn't have the Torah, the laws of the Torah to be Shofet Sa'am min haBoker le'erev. Anyway, so Rashi says it's Machar Yom Kippurim. Vayeshev Moshe lishpot Sa'am. Moshe Rabbeinu judged the people. Vayamed ha'am al Moshe min haBoker ad ha'arev. And the people were standing there next to Moshe, in Moshe's presence from the morning until the evening. Rashi says from the Mechilta, this is something that bothered Yisroi. How is it that Moshe Rabbeinu is sitting like a melech and everybody is standing, and it looks like Moshe is mezalzel b'chvodim shel Yisrael? What's negaya to the Hilchos Dayanis is he sees everybody standing there. Min haBoker ad ha'erev. So Rashi says, Ef shalemer kain. You think it's humanly possible for a person to judge from beginning of the day till the evening? Ella kol dayin shedon din emes la'mitoy afilu shah achas. For a dayin that judges even for 1 hour, but he does a din emes la'mitoy, ma'ilo of a kosef ki la'isib b'Torah kol hayom. It's as if he studied Torah all day. Because there too it says vayiyerev vayivoker. And the Chassam Sofer points out that by Ma'aseh Bereishis it says Vayiyerev first and then Vayiboker. And over here the Lashon is Min HaBoker ad ha'erev, and he has a pshat why it is that different. Now anyways, the pasuk says they stood by Moshe and Min HaBoker ad ha'erev. Yeah? So Vayarchos and Moshe Askol Ashu Oisel Laham. So Moshe Rabbeinu's father-in-law Yisroi sees what's happening. Vayomer, and he says, what are you doing here? It's not Madua ata Yosef levadecha v'chol ha'am nitzav alecha min haBoker ad ha'erev. Okay, so the Chassam Sofer on this pasuk, sorry for the jumping around, I'm just sitting in the airport as you see. The Chassam Sofer in this pasuk says that Yisroi had four questions. Number one, Madua ata Yosef levadecha. Why are you sitting alone? And when we know Ein Don Yechidi Ela Echad, why don't you have other people with you? Number two, Kol Ha'am Nitzav Alecha. Everybody's standing over you. So the question is, what's Kol Ha'am doing here? Why isn't it private? Why isn't it hush hush? Two people are fighting. Discuss it. Everybody else goes away, and you only have to deal with the people who are important to the case. Three. Says the Chassam Sofer, you're going miBoker ad ha'erev? miBoker ad erev? Why miBoker ad erev? And the fact is that, as the Gemara says, it's only done shah achas b'yom. And number four, why did he stop? From the other hand, why did he stop ad erev? We know once he starts tchilas din by day, you could go into night. The din imamanis, you could even be going by night. As the pasuk says, "V'shaftu asa'ei b'chol eis." So these are the four questions that Yisroi attacked Moshe with, and Moshe in the following pasuk said like this: "Vayomer Moshe l'chaysnoi ki yavei elai ha'am lidrish elikim." For the people come to me to seek instructions from Hashem, and then the next pasuk it goes ki yil lehem davar ba elai. V'shafatati bein ishu bein re'eyu v'yidaiti es chukei elikim ves toreso. So with these two psukim, says the Chassam Sofer, Moshe Rabbeinu answered all four tainas. Taina number one You said, why am I here all day? I told you, because they didn't come to get upset in it. I wasn't settling cases all day. They came lidrei shelikim. They came to learn Torah. They came to my yeshiva. I'm teaching them Torah. So teaching them Torah, we teach all day. And they came lidrei shelikim. So it wasn't psacked in. So I don't have to have other people with me. And at the same time, I could do it all day. And because I'm teaching in the words of Torah and Shechina medaberes mitoch greinoi, we know that the Shechina was not nigla to Moshe Rabbeinu only by day. So therefore, he stopped by night. And the pasuk continues, "V'shafatiti bein isha bein re'ehu," says Chassam Sofer, because it says "v'shafatiti," it has to be myself. Why does it have to be myself? Because I am telling them chukei elikim. I'm telling them what I heard from the Eibishter. Nobody else heard it. And because I'm saying what's halacha l'moshe messina straight from me, I have to be the one saying it. So that was the response to the four tainis Yitzchak had. Now the Chassam Sofer also in another shtickle says, "Madua ata yoshev levadecha." The Yisrael was saying to Moshe Rabbeinu, if this is all from what your decision is, it's your own personal decision, then why are you sitting and everybody is standing? If you're learning Torah, if it's from you and it's Torah, then the Rambam says how Torah should be taught, and not you sit and everybody stand. And if it's a nevuah, then why don't you teach other people also? Why is it only to yourself? Now the pasuk says earlier, "Vayeshev Moshe lispeth min boker ad ha'arav," and Rashi quotes, "Mikan l'dayin shedan din emes lamiter nasa shutav la'kodesh baruch hu." That's fine, but how did Yisrei knew that? How did Yisrei know when Yisrei says, "Oi, why are you doing this from day to night?" According to what he's saying, according to what the Mechilta is saying that Rashi quotes, they weren't there asking him halachic shaylos and disputes all day. It was only shah achas bayom. And the Taka, as mentioned before, the Chassam Sofer said that they all came to learn Torah. But before they learned, Moshe Rabbeinu started his shir, he said, I need to clear things. I need to clear things up. If there's any fights amongst people, they won't be able to hear my shir because they'll be busy in the fight. So Moshe started every shir every morning with a shir with who's in the disputes, settling disputes, and now he could give his shir. So the shah achas bayom, which he did for a shafatati, that was all to make a hagdama that the limit of the Torah could be all yom. Now, the taina that they had, that Moshe Rabbeinu said, listen, when they come to me and they want to have a settlement between two people, I'm not tchilas din. By tchilas din, you could say they could add other people, as long as it's still b'tchilas din, you could add more judges to the case. And it could be kiblu alayu. So why does it only have to be you? But when they come to me to settle a case, says Moshe Rabbeinu, I'm like the Gemara Din. Just like once Kabbalas Eidus, with Chazal say Kabbalas Eidus is like Gemara Din because the case is over once you have real Eidus. So too Moshe Rabbeinu says, when people come to me and I am giving them Devar Hashem, just when they present the Taina, if the pasuk says, Yavai Elai, when they come to me, and right away as they come to me and say what's on their mind, Haydaiti them, I tell them what the results are. People would come to them with questions, and he would give an instant answer. So the question, the dispute itself was a Gemara Din. So at that point, you couldn't add any more people. Then the Chassam Sofer says another deal. The pasuk makes a difference between Ki Yelehem Davar Ba'elai and he says Lidrei Shalikim. Lidrei Shalikim was learning. Davar is Davar is a Al Pi Shnayim Eidim Yakum Davar, And that's the comparison. Just like by Agadah Seidis, the case is basically over. You can't add any more Bali Dinim, Dayanim. So too, then I will instantly give them the answer, because when it came to that situation, I was there to help them.